Hello, Capricorn. Thank you so much, as always, you guys, for being here. Okay, Cap. Looking at your second week of December, you pulled Pray, Intention, and Calling in the Storm. Let me tell you how powerful these cards are and the feeling that it's like stirring up within me. And I want to do this justice, so we're going to go through each of the cards here. First of all, let's talk about Pray. The blessing says you are able to make a stand and you are strong, clever, and powerful. It's time to stand up to a bully or to one who wishes to blame you for their own bad behavior. It says you did not attract the circumstances you find yourself within. And it says you have a great deal more power than they wish you to have. This is about others preying on you and your energy and trying to project their own negativity onto you. Intention is a reminder that there is the purity of what your intentions are and that it is being recognized, right? So now the other part of pray is saying it's more of like an affirmation here. It says, do not allow yourself to be prey for another's hunger. Do not refuse to help yourself or fall into patterns of victimhood. And it says that you can't always win, but the greatest battle you face at the present is the one within you that says, I give up, nothing ever goes my way. It says it can and it will when you believe you are worth fighting for. This is like dealing with somebody who is preying on your own energy and making you believe that you do not have power when you do. So the advice here is to remember the purity of the intentions that you are setting for yourself in your own life and your own experience. Now, obviously, this isn't going to be for everyone, but for those of you who are feeling this, you know what I mean. It's like dealing with people who don't want to see you rise above. It's like, let me just keep pulling you down here with me. Intention. It says, reach for your highest potential. Events may not always manifest as you wish, and that's the thing. Both of these are pointing out the fact that sometimes things don't exactly come out the way that we intended. But there's also the reminder here that whatever you're dealing with, you didn't attract this intentionally. It's like if you're coming from a place of pure intention and pure energy and innocence when it comes to what you are trying to create, it will automatically attract the opposite. So it's not like it's something that you did that brought this into your life. It's just because of your own pure nature that situations like this sometimes find their way into our lives, and they leech and attach to that energy, and they look to drain it and to pull it down, right? So obviously it's going to be for those of you who are feeling that way, whether it's a person in particular, or a group of people, or just a situation, whatever it may be, where you feel like it's bringing you down, making you feel like you don't have power when you do. So the other part of this says, besides events not always manifesting as you wish, it says, but the purity of your intent will be recognized and accounted for in the accordance with the laws of cause and effect. So you may be dealing with both sides of the coin here, where there's this pure intention, pure thought, pure motivation. But because of that, there's the attraction to, or the attraction of the other side of that that's trying to pull you down, right? But it's being accounted for, right? So it's not that you have some kind of negative intention. Like, don't allow yourself to fall into those kind of thought patterns, right? Whatever this is, though, right? Like, there's the advice here in remembering, the purity of your intentions, despite the fact that you're dealing with something that's trying to pull you down. But it's like, if it does, you're calling in the storm. You're gonna call in, a lot of powerful energy here to wipe this situation out. And I think that there is the reminder here that you have the power within you to get rid of that kind of shit from your life, right? So calling in the storm. Power comes not from the inside, but the connection and integration to a greater whole. And it's almost like the universe is trying to remind you that you are so connected. And your innocence and your virtue and your intentions is being recognized here. But it's like you have to find the power within you to wipe this away, to get it away, right? It says pull and release, push to the limit. The eye is the only peaceful place that can be. It's like being pushed to your breaking point, calling in the storm and finding peace in the eye of the hurricane, right? But that is the power that you have through your connectedness to the whole. Such a powerful, powerful message, especially for those of you who feel like your energy is just being pulled down so far into a place where you feel like you don't have any power over the things that happen to you. But the thing is there's nothing that you did. This isn't karma. You know, the cause and effect, right? Like the cause is you have a pure person with pure intentions. The effect is, unfortunately, the attraction to the opposite side of that, or it being attracted to you. But the whole point here is to remember the power that you have within you when you set your intentions, right? Oh my God. You're overall the devil. One of the things that, you know, we talk about with Capricorn, you're talking about being able to overcome the traps of materialism. You know, this is where we see too much of the material and then there's like a disconnect from the spiritual. But Capricorn, the sign itself, has the ability to overcome all of that. But this, besides, you know, being the card that, you know, is attached to Capricorn, which bothers me, it needs to be something else. This, though, is you seeing what you're dealing with and seeing how you have become negatively attached to it, right? There's the toxicity with the devil, the negative patterns, the being comfortable with something that you know isn't good for you because it's what you're familiar with, right? But we'll see. We'll see how the devil is playing out. So you have you and you have Gemini. Gemini with the lovers in the past. So for some of you, this has to do with a very significant relationship. For others of you, this is, you know, the union, the perfect union that is happening within you. Now, the other part of this, though, is choosing love over temptation, obviously. But this could just be signaling a very significant relationship where I think, you know, for you, you see it in a much higher level, but something is causing negativity within this, right? So when I say higher level, you know, let me explain here, because you have the lovers and then you have the Two of Cups. Those are the two cards that really, you know, will point to relationship and connection. But it's not just about the connection with another person. It's about how you see it as a whole. Now, the Page of Pentacles in the present moment, we're talking about communication coming through that may be offering you a new opportunity that you want to continue to grow. Now, if you're having, you know, a more holistic point of view on your life and your experience, this may be where your power is coming in to learn something different and apply it to your life in a way where it creates a new beginning for you. But communication with the pages, right? So we'll see what's going on here. Okay. What I want to say here, and this was the immediate feeling seeing this, the Three of Swords being in future conditions, you will continue to experience heartbreak if you allow yourself to stay attached to a situation, especially if it's out of duty. For those of you who are dealing with a significant relationship where there's this toxicity, but you feel like you have to stay with it. And I say that because of the devil, right? We chain ourselves to that. And we think we're stuck, but we don't realize sometimes that we can just remove the chain and walk away. This, I think, is a very huge reminder here that, there is something that can be learned from this situation in a way that, brings about new growth and new opportunities and new beginnings for you. But if there is this want to ignore it because of a feeling of needing to stay with something, it's going to create this feeling of heartbreak. Now, for some of you, it may be heartbreaking for you to take a different path. You may be separating yourself from this situation. Some of you may be looking at separation within a relationship. Obviously, it's not going to be for all of you. But the immediate feeling off of this was, if you decide to stay with this is the only experience that can come out of this. Right? So what information are you gaining in the present moment that can help you, change direction? That's what I feel like the Page of Pentacles is presenting you with now. Your best path to follow, the Nine of Cups. What do you really want? What do you really want? What is really going to bring you that happiness and that emotional fulfillment? Is this what you want? Obviously not, right? You don't want to have to continue to be in situations where you have to call upon your own power to overcome it, right? Let's get to that place where you get what you want and it brings you happiness and contentment and fulfillment. The focus on that, and if you are honest with yourself about that, based on, what you have learned from this experience, is going to help you break that habit of wanting to stay with something that, is not worthy of you, right? You're so much better than that. But, I'm still kind of going back to the Lovers, and there's the two parts to that. The feeling of a sense of duty, because this is the choice that you made. But the thing is, if we're talking about pure intentions, right? If you choose to sever this, it's because this is negative energy coming to feed off of you in your pure intentions. It's almost like I want to say to you, don't feel bad about making a choice to get rid of something that's hurting you. Yeah, so in your environment, the Two of Swords, this is where, there's going to be a decision that's going to have to be made. And I don't think that it's one that you have been willing to make, because there's that attachment that happens there, right? But with the Two of Swords, this is needing to open your eyes to something that, you may have been choosing not to look at. What decision do I have? I can't look at that. And this is now I can't ignore it anymore, and I'm going to have to make a difficult choice. And that may be based off of new information here. But that new information is it's a double-edged sword. It's the information of just how difficult a situation may be, and the negativity and the attachment and all that stuff. But the information is also leading to this awareness of new opportunities and new growth for you, right? But you're going to have to cut something out. Your hopes and your fears, the Seven of Pentacles, don't do that. What I want to say here is don't keep looking at the situation thinking that if you do something different that you're going to get different results, because this is reevaluating. Everything that you're going to see out of this situation has already been shown to you. There is nothing that you can do differently that is going to create any kind of different growth. So be careful about, because of the Devil being the overall, hoping that things could, produce different results. If you do something differently, different results can be produced. I can't help but say like a hard no to that, and you know that because you know that you're going to have to make a decision here to get rid of something. But also because of this, you don't want any more heartbreak. And if you stay attached to this situation, whatever it is, that is what you will experience, right? Ooh, buddy. I'm telling you, the message coming off of this, and like I've always said, when it comes to readings like this, it's hard for me to just do general. A lot of times things are going to come up specific, right? So obviously it's not going to be for everybody, but even if this only hits one person, right? That's all that matters to me. Death coming out, it's over. It is over. And in such a way that it's going to cause transformation within you. We can't do this anymore. The intentions that you have set when it comes to the connections that you make are not being met in this situation. But that does not mean that the intentions with the lovers has to leave your life completely. Do you understand what I mean? Wow, man. Oh my God. That makes sense. Okay, and then the Seven of Cups, and there again, is that feeling with the Seven of Pentacles where it's like if we do something differently, maybe, what you've been fantasizing about will actually happen. But really, that's where I go back to this, and I'm like, what do you want? Tell me what you want. Like, I feel like I'm the universe going, just Cap, tell me, right? Focus on that. Not what you want out of this situation, because with the Devil and the Three of Swords and Death coming out, it's a hard no. It is a hard no. Look back at the intentions that you were originally set coming into this, right? And really, really, what would you want for yourself if this is what you're dealing with? Remove yourself for a minute. Kind of like separate yourself and just observe the situation. Obviously, you care about yourself and you love yourself. What would you want for you? The Tower in the Lovers, something drastically changes, something big comes in and wipes out all of the garbage, right? False foundation. Something having to change drastically, and with Death, we're not ever going back. It is over with for good here, and it needs to happen this way in order for the transformation to take place. Otherwise, there's still going to be this connection to something that is not you, it's not for you, it's not for your highest good, it's not what you want, right? The Nine of Wands, something about this card recently has been speaking to me about blocking things out. So clearly you've been through a lot, you're protecting yourself and what's important to you, but there's still the persistence in continuing to deal with a situation that is causing you to be on guard, right? And it makes sense. But the problem is that you may be blocking out information that may lead to a new beginning for you, but it's up to you to take advantage of that, right? And with the Two of Swords, you understand that a difficult choice is going to have to be made. There has to be this severing, this separation from this negative energy that's feeding on you and creating this kind of like heartbreak, right? So it could very well be for some of you that this is a separation in a very significant relationship. In saying that, I mean something that has been in your life for a while, or where there has been a lot of intense experience around. And then you have the Seven of Cups, where, the problem here, I think, with the heartbreak that we're looking at is that if you don't allow this to be over with and the transformation to take place, the constant fantasy about, how you thought this is what you wanted, how you thought you saw things going, it's just going to continue to hurt you. And there very much is this message of, it needs to be let go of now. And I almost feel like for some of you, You may not want this to happen right now, but I think it's the universe stepping in going, it has to. It has to, otherwise it's going to continue to be a huge detriment on you in the way that you experience life and possibly love and relationships. Holy shit, man. I need a minute. This would be the moment where, like, when I first started the channel, I'd be like, yep, I need a drink of wine. I need, just give me a hit of something real quick. But this is powerful, powerful. Now, something may come in that kind of forces your hand to make some changes, though, too, with the Tower. Assurance, that's beautiful. So there's some situations where it's like, I don't want to do this unless I'm going to get assurance that everything's going to be okay. But this is like, it's coming in because I feel like it's something that you need. It's not what you're looking for. And it's like the universe is responding to that. Confidence. And then truth. And, you know, with the Two of Swords here, right? Like ignoring a truth. So there's going to be this feeling of assurance that's going to come through that is going to help you, you know, have confidence in the choice that you're making here. But it's also meant to show you the truth of the situation, is what I feel like. Your dreams need a practical plan. And, you know, looking at the Seven of Cups, right? Like, just, and the Page of Pentacles, and what you really want. Right? Like, no more fantasizing. It's time to look at what you can realistically, you know, start to grow in your life. And don't let pride get in your way. Somebody else had this. Don't let this situation affect you to the point where you're like, I'm never letting anything in ever again. That's what I feel like there. I don't think that it's, you know, this unhealthy sense of ego. I think it's more of the harshness that comes along with dealing in painful situations with other people, where we're kind of like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. I'm never opening up. I'm going to look at everything with the eyes of like extreme scrutiny. I think that that's where this one is coming through. But the practical plan, right? For some of you, you may need to start making practical plans because this situation is going to change drastically. And I almost feel like a sense of preparation. But, you know, again, right, we're talking about those of you who are dealing with energy that's like, come down here with me. I just want to keep you down here with me. And, you know, again, there's this feeling of something breaking and you calling in the storm and finding peace in the eye of the hurricane of all of the things that are going on around you. But this has to happen if you want to have all of the things that make you happy, right? Like, what do you really want, Cap? Just focus on that right now. And then when you get clear on that and you're looking at the purity of your intentions, start making some plans.